What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, make sure to subscribe and sack that like button if you haven't already. Um, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing my Week 15 NFL Preview 2022. So let's begin. First game of the week, tomorrow's game, Thursday night game, 49ers at the Seahawks, a divisional matchup right here. I think this division is pretty much wrapped up. At this point, the 49ers have a 2-game lead with tiebreaker, but if they win this game, it will firmly put it away. In fact, it will clinch it because it will give them a 3-game lead with tiebreaker. It would clinch the division if they were to win this game, but if the Seahawks were to win this game, then they would be 1 game back, and they would have the same divisional record, so it would go to conference. I'm not sure who would have the tiebreaker then, but bottom line is Seahawks would be 1 game back with 3 to go. 49ers would still have a great advantage, but in my opinion, I think this division is pretty much over, and I am picking the Niners to close it out tomorrow night. I got them winning 28-20. Then the Colts at the Vikings, the first Saturday game. The Colts are coming off a bye. Vikings are coming off a tough loss. I got the Vikings winning this game 24-21. Vikings are just a better team. I think we all know that. They should win that game. Then the Ravens at the Browns, the second Saturday game, a divisional matchup here. Browns are pretty much done. Ravens trying to keep the lead in that in their division in the AFC North against the Bengals. I think this is going to be a tight game, and it's unsure if Tyler Huntley is going to play, which means Anthony Brown may be having to make his first start now for the Ravens. I got the Browns winning this one 23-15. I think this is going to be a game that they're fired up. It's Deshaun Watson's first home game since coming back, so it should be interesting. I got a hunch the Browns are going to win this one. Then the Dolphins at the Bills, the final Saturday game, the night game. This game is going to be the opposite of the first time they played. First time they played in an oven. This time now they're going to play in a freezer. It's going to be tough for the Dolphins because the Dolphins are a team that struggles in cold weather historically, and this is a team that likes to pass the ball a lot. They're not going to be able to do a whole lot of that. They're going to need Raheem Mostert to really step up in this game when they're handing him the ball, and that's the weakness of the Bills. Run that football. They don't have Von Miller anymore. Dolphins need to be able to establish a running game early to have a chance in this one. This is going to be interesting. If the Dolphins win, then they're only 1 game back from the Bills, and they have tiebreaker on them, full-on tiebreaker, which means the Bills would be in a very uncomfortable situation if they were to lose this game, plus they could lose the #1 seed. But I got the Bills winning at 23-20. They're playing at home in this blizzard. It's going to be tough for the Dolphins. Then the Eagles at the Bears. Eagles are the best team in football right now. Bears are one of the worst teams in football right now. I don't see how the Bears are able to stop the run or Jalen Hurts. It's going to be 2 of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the NFL right now. The 2 best dual-threat quarterbacks in the NFL right now, in my opinion. I got the Eagles winning it, though, 48-17. Then the Lions at the Jets. This is going to be a gritty game. It's really tough to say who wins this game. Both teams need this game in different ways. The Lions needed to be able to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot, and the Jets needed to be able to, keep at pace with the Patriots and the Chargers for their playoff spot. Both teams are going to play like hell in this game, and they're both very tough teams that are coached by very tough, coaches. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins this one. I'm going to edge it to the Jets 21-20, but this game can go either way. Then the Steelers at the Panthers. Steelers are pretty much done after last week's loss. The Panthers are still hanging in by a thread only because of the division with the Bucks. The Panthers really, I don't have a good front seven. I think Najee Harris is going to have well over 100 yards in this game. He could even push for 150 yards. I think the Panthers may have to settle for some field goals in the red zone because they're not going to be able to pound it as well in the red zone. They're going to rely on Sam Darnold making some red zone plays, which is going to lead to some field goals, maybe some turnovers. I got the Steelers winning this 24-22. Then the Chiefs at the Texans. Chiefs got the win last week. Texans coming off of the heartbreaking loss. The Chiefs should be able to really do everything they want against the Texans on offense, and defensively they shouldn't have a problem. The film, Patrick Mahomes last week in the film, he didn't look at his best form, but this is definitely a game where he can, make up for it. I got the Chiefs winning at 35-10. And then the Falcons at the Saints. Saints and the Falcons are in similar situations right now. Neither one of them can make the playoffs as a wild card. Realistically, their only hope is winning the division. Falcons are in a better spot because they're 5-8. The Saints are 4-9. But to me, the loser of this game is officially knocked out of the playoffs and overall, because I don't think the loser of this game can win the division after this. So this is a big game. Loser of this game is done pretty much for sure. And the winner, it's not like things are looking too good either, because they're still trying to chase the Panthers and the Bucks. And if it's the Saints who win, they still have problems because, you know, they would still be a game back from the Bucks, assuming the Bucks were to lose their game, you know, they would also not have tiebreaker, where the Falcons at least get to play the Bucks again, and they would be tied with the Bucks record-wise. But either way, the loser of this game is screwed. This will be rookie quarterback Desmond Ritter's first start. Falcons, I think, wanted to give him a shot these final 4 games to see what they got in him. And if it's nothing promising, they're probably going to move on and draft somebody in this upcoming draft. Desmond Ritter's, you know, he's considered a project quarterback, a guy that you leave on the bench for a couple of years and see what he's got afterwards. This is not the way he was meant to come in, but they had no choice. And Marcus Mariota, per report, left the team, but not really sure what that means. I guess he resigned, like he took himself out of the contract, which I didn't even know you could do that, because they haven't formally released him at the time of recording this video. But other than that, I do have the Saints winning this game 20-17. Then the Cowboys at the Jaguars. You know, this is a trap game for the Cowboys. You would think, you know, Jaguars are looking good as of late. Cowboys looked sloppy last week, but still, I'm gonna take the Cowboys to win this game. Jaguars don't have the best secondary. Cowboys should be able to exploit that. T.Y. Hilton will be making his debut, and the Jaguars, I think, will struggle against the Cowboys pass rush, and I don't think the Jaguars have receivers that can match up well against the Cowboys corners. I got the Cowboys winning at 28-17. Then the Cardinals at the Broncos. This has the potential to be Colt McCoy versus Brett Rippon in terms of quarterbacks. You know, this is going to be a cold weather game. Cardinals aren't good historically in cold weather. I got the Broncos winning this one 26-23. Then the Patriots at the Raiders. Josh McDaniels versus Bill Belichick. Student versus mentor. This should be an interesting one. You know, these two guys obviously know each other well. You know, this game can honestly go either way, but, you know, the Patriots may struggle to run the football in this game against that Raiders defensive line. They're going to have to set the edge and get to the outside, because that's the weakness of the Raiders, stopping the run, stopping, you know, the edge, setting the edge, because of, you know, they don't have the best linebackers in the world. But this is a game where Mac Jones is definitely going to have to make some plays, because, like I said, the run won't always be there for the Pats. And thankfully for the Pats, the Raiders secondary isn't very good. So I think Mac Jones can get some things going in the passing game. The Raiders, however, I think they could have a big day on the passing game, though, as well. Jack Jones may not play in this game. I got the Raiders winning at 31-23. I think they actually just match up better, and, you know, I didn't think I would be taking a student of Belichick versus Belichick ever, but I'm doing it here, and the game's in the Death Star. I got the Raiders winning. Then the Titans at the Chargers, big matchup here. You know, the Chargers trying to keep that wild card spot. Titans trying to, you know, stop the bleeding with some of the most recent losses. You know, I got the Chargers winning this one, though. This one's in LA. I think Chargers are the better team. I think Derrick Henry will have a big day on the ground, however, but I still think the Chargers will get the win 31-28. Then the Bengals at the Buccaneers. I kind of alluded to this game earlier. You know, I kind of said that I got the Bengals winning, which I do. Bengals receivers, it might be the best wide receiver trio in the NFL right now. And against those Bucks that Bucs secondary, which isn't the best. I think the Bengals can exploit that. However, we all know the Bengals aren't the best, don't have the best offensive line, even though they have gotten a whole lot better as the year has gone on. But this Bucs pass rush is very good, so we could see Burrow on the ground 3 to 4 times in this game. I think Brady, on the other hand, the big key, the big, decider factor in this game is going to be, can the Bucs get the running game going? They haven't been able to all year, but it's going to be hard to sit back and pass all game against this Bengals secondary. So if the Bucs can establish a run, which, on film, they just can't seem to get any push from that front offensive line. So I don't think the Bucs are going to be able to. I got the Bengals winning at 27-23, even though it's in the pirate ship. Then the Giants at the Commanders, the Sunday night game. This is another big game here. Both teams obviously need this to keep pace in the wild card for a wild card spot. Both of these teams aren't going to win their division, but they both have a great shot. They just played the other week, and it was a tie. These two teams are very evenly matched and very similar. As we saw, it was a tie. I got the Commanders winning this one, though. I had the Giants winning the first one. I got the Commanders winning this one 25-22. I think there's going to be a lot of field goals in this game. I think it's going to be interesting. It really could go either way, though. It wouldn't surprise me. Then the Rams at the Packers, the Monday night game. The Rams, Cooper Kupp isn't going to be playing, obviously, in this game. Allen Robinson isn't going to be playing in this game. So Mayfield against a good defense isn't going to be able to have any help in the receiving game. Plus, the Rams don't have a good running game to begin with. I think the Rams are really going to struggle on offense in this game because they're not facing the Raiders this time. They're facing the Packers defense in Lambeau. Meanwhile, on the other side, sure, the Packers offense has been struggling this year too, but there's no Aaron Donald, which means I think the Packers are going to be able to establish the running game quite easily in this game. Plus, Jalen Ramsey's not having his best year. I think those Packer receivers will thrive in this game. I got the Packers winning it 35-6. Comment down below what you guys think about all this. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy.